Did you know? 78% of men check their ex's social media within 2 weeks of a breakup, but only 12% will admit it. He's watching. And right now, he's winning. You're scrolling through his socials for the 100th time tonight. Your stomach churns seeing him like posts, living his life, while you're drowning in what-ifs. Does he miss me? Was I not enough? Why is he moving on so fast? The truth? He's not moving on. He's avoiding the same pain you're drowning in. But while you're crying over someone who chose to lose you, he's convincing himself he made the right choice. And that's the insult your heart can't stomach. I know you want him to regret it, to feel this ache, to wake up in a cold sweat realizing exactly what he threw away. But listen carefully. Every tear you cry for him, every late night "I miss you" text, every desperate attempt to make him see your worth, it's just confirming his worst fear, that losing you wasn't actually a loss at all. Regret isn't begged for. It's triggered through specific psychological loopholes hardwired into every man's ego. Today, I'm handing you 5 proven triggers that will force him to replay your memories, even when he tries not to. Make your absence physically painful. Yes, science proves this. Turn his win into a haunting what-if. But warning, these aren't manipulation tricks. They're behavioral laws, the same ones that make you obsess over someone who treated you poorly. The difference? You'll use them ethically to accelerate your healing while accidentally driving him insane with regret. Part 1. The withdrawal effect. You know that split second when a cigarette hits the pavement after a final drag? That's him right now, convincing himself he's free. But here's what he doesn't feel yet. The itch. The way his fingers will twitch for his phone at 11 p.m., muscle memory begging to text you. The way his friends' laughter will suddenly sound hollow because you're not there to mirror his jokes. See, men are creatures of ritual. And you? You were his dopamine loop, his morning good luck text, his late night ego boost, the voice that calibrated his moods. When you vanish without a trace, his brain doesn't register it as loss. At first, it registers it as a glitch. She'll reply tomorrow, he thinks. But tomorrow comes, and his inbox stays empty. That's when the rewiring starts. Studies show it takes 21 days for the human brain to accept a new reality. So for 21 days, you let silence do the work. No indirect posts about moving on. No accidental views to his stories. Just absence. And here's the cruel twist. The less you react, the more his mind forces a reaction from him. Ever notice how you only crave food when you're told you can't have it? That's you now. Forbidden. Untouchable. And by the time he realizes this isn't a game, that you're truly gone, his nervous system will rebel. He'll dream about you. He'll smell your perfume on strangers. He'll hear your laugh in crowded rooms. And when he finally breaks, you won't be there to witness it. That's the withdrawal effect. You let biology punish him for you. Think about the last time you ignored someone. Really ignored them. At first, it's easy. You're annoyed. You're done. But then, hours pass. Days. And somewhere in that silence, doubt creeps in. Did they not notice? Do they not care? That's the psychological trap you're setting. Except this time, you're not the one obsessing. He is. Every morning he wakes up and checks his phone, and every night he stares at the ceiling, wondering why you're not there. And the longer you stay gone, the more his brain starts filling in the blanks with memories he swore he didn't care about. The way you laughed at his stupid jokes, the way you knew how he took his coffee, the way you were the only one who ever really saw him. These aren't just thoughts, they're withdrawals. Literal, chemical withdrawals. Because love isn't some fairy tale emotion, it's a drug. And right now you're cutting off his supply. But here's where most women fail. They hold out for a week, maybe 2, and then weakness, a drunk text, a like on his photo, a casual run-in. And just like that, the spell is broken. He gets his fix, his ego is fed, and he goes back to his life knowing you're still hooked. That's why the withdrawal effect only works if you commit to total radio silence. No subtweets, no asking friends about him, no accidentally showing up at his gym. You have to disappear so completely that he starts questioning whether you ever existed at all. And when he does, that's when the real regret sets in. Not because he misses you, but because he realizes you didn't just walk away. You leveled up without him. And that's the kind of loss that haunts a man forever. The glow-up paradox. There's a moment, a single, pivotal moment, when a man realizes he made a mistake. It's not when you cry, it's not when you beg, it's not even when you walk away. It's when he sees you again, and you're different. Not because you're trying to be, not because you're putting on a show, but because you've genuinely outgrown him. That's the glow-up paradox. The more you stop caring about his regret, the more inevitable it becomes. And the more you focus on yourself, the more he'll realize exactly what he lost. Right now, he has a version of you locked in his mind. The heartbroken girl, the one who still loves him, the one he could probably win back with a half-hearted apology. That's the version he's comfortable with. That's the version that lets him sleep at night. But what happens when that girl no longer exists? What happens when the woman he encounters is someone he doesn't even recognize? Not because you've changed your hair or lost weight, though those things might be true, but because the light in your eyes is different now. Because your voice doesn't shake when you speak to him. Because when he looks at you, he doesn't see longing. He sees indifference. That's when it hits him. That's when the panic sets in. Because men don't fear losing you when they know you're still theirs. They fear it when they realize you've already moved on, and they had no say in the matter. This isn't about revenge. It's not about making him suffer. It's about evolution. The best possible version of you isn't the one that existed for him. It's the one that exists without him. So glow up. Not for him, not to prove a point, but because you owe it to yourself. Because every day you spend leveling up is another day he spends realizing exactly what he let go. And by the time he works up the courage to say something, it'll be too late. You'll already be gone. 3. The social proof bomb. Let me tell you a secret about men. They don't trust their own eyes. They need to see other people wanting you before they remember why they wanted you in the first place. This isn't just about jealousy. This is about something far more powerful: social proof. The moment the world starts treating you like the prize, his brain rewrites history to match. Suddenly, all those little flaws he nitpicked become charming. Quirks. The qualities he took for granted become irreplaceable. And that's when the real regret begins to rot in his chest. Right now, he's telling himself a story, that he's the one who walked away, that he's better off, that you're still stuck in the past while he's moving forward. But what happens when that story cracks? When he sees you at a party, surrounded by people hanging on your every word. When mutual friends mention how incredible you've been doing. When another man, someone he respects, maybe even envies, looks at you the way he used to, that's when the narrative flips. That's when he starts wondering, was I wrong? Did I let something special go? This isn't about faking happiness or staging scenes. This is about letting the world witness your real, unshakable worth. When you stop hiding your light, when you stop shrinking to make his ego comfortable, that's when the social proof bomb detonates. And the beautiful, brutal truth, by the time he realizes what's happening, you won't even notice his reaction. You'll be too busy living a life where his opinion no longer matters. That's the ultimate power move, when his regret becomes nothing more than background noise in your symphony of success. 4. The nostalgia trap. Memory is a liar, and you're about to weaponize that. Right now, he's clinging to every reason your breakup made sense. Every argument, every flaw, every justification for walking away. But time doesn't erase history. It rewrites it. And you're going to let nostalgia do your dirty work. Think about the last song that unexpectedly punched you in the gut years later. That's what you're about to become. The melody he can't shake. The smell of rain on concrete that suddenly drags him back to your first date. The movie quote you always used that now makes him flinch when he hears it. These aren't accidents. They're landmines you've already planted in his psyche, waiting for the right moment to detonate. Here's how nostalgia works its cruel magic. First comes the quiet forgetting. The brain naturally suppresses negative memories to protect itself. Then comes the false editing. His mind will start airbrushing your history, smoothing over fights, amplifying good moments, until what he remembers isn't real. It's better than real. Finally comes the painful contrast, when he compares whatever mediocre relationship he's in now to the gilded memory of what you had. That's when he'll start rewriting history entirely, convincing himself he was the one who messed up, that what you had was rare, that he'll never find it again. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to lift a finger. No, remember when. Texts, no throwback photos, just live your life. Because every day you're absent is another day his brain fills the silence with rewritten history. And when he finally reaches out, drunk on manufactured nostalgia, you'll be so far beyond that version of yourself. His regret will taste like ashes in his mouth. 5. The final test. Now comes the ultimate gut check, the moment that separates the women who get temporary satisfaction from those who win the war without firing a shot. This isn't about ignoring him or making him jealous. This is about what happens when he finally breaks, when all those psychological triggers collide and he comes crawling back. Because he will. And what you do next determines whether this was all for nothing or whether you walk away with your power intact forever. Picture this. It's 2 a.m. Your phone lights up with his name for the first time in months. Maybe it's, "Hey, stranger." Maybe it's, "I've been thinking about us." Doesn't matter. What matters is that jolt in your chest, the one that feels like victory and danger all at once. This is the final test, and most women fail here. They think responding is winning. They think indifference means replying 3 days later with a cold, "Who is this?" But real power looks like this. You don't respond at all, not because you're playing games, because you genuinely don't care anymore. Here's the brutal truth men never admit. They don't regret losing you when you take them back. They regret losing you when they realize you're the one who got away, permanently. When they understand that, even at their most vulnerable, even when they're finally ready to admit their mistake, you've moved on. Not the performative kind, the real kind. The kind where his text sits unread while you're on a date with someone better, or signing a lease on your dream apartment, or simply living a life so full that his name doesn't even register as a blip on your radar anymore. That's the final test. Not whether you can make him want you again, but whether you can look at that text and realize you don't want him. When you reach that point, that's when you've truly won. Because now his regret isn't your problem. It's his life sentence. Here's what no one tells you about regret. By the time these triggers work, you'll be in a completely different universe. He'll finally see you, polished, unbothered, thriving, and it will hit him like a freight train. The woman he took for granted, she never really existed. You outgrew her. And that realization, that's the only regret that matters. The irony, men only regret losing you when you stop caring if they do. That's the secret they'll never admit. Your indifference is the ultimate revenge. So here's your final assignment. For the next 30 days, you'll focus on one mission, becoming someone you wouldn't recognize. Not for him, for you. Because when you level up, his regret becomes inevitable. Your power becomes unstoppable. The next man, he'll have to earn you. And when that text finally comes, You'll do what queens do. Let it sit unanswered, while you're too busy living a life he can only dream of being part of.